What's happening, man? We live and direct at the Wake Your Ass Up podcast, man. I got a very motherfucking special guest, man. You can't say the boss without who?
The Bosslife Spence, baby, man.
Come
I'm in
on,
this motherfucker, man.
We live and direct, baby.
know it.
Bosslife, what's happening?
Man, I'm chilling, man. How you
Come
living,
on,
Mr.
man.
Kirk
It's a
Black?
blessing. It's a blessing.
Man,
It's a
like,
blessing,
you
man.
already know.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty of it, man.
Come
you
on.
know, where Bosslife from, man?
Man, I'm from North Oakland, man. Like a motherfucker, man. I'm from 48th and Telegraph, for real. 48th and Clark Street. And 62nd and Dover, for real. Yeah, you feel me? From them two spots. So, North Oakland.
As you been a North Oakland baby, you feel me, born and raised in the town, what are some of the, experiences that you had as a child coming up?
On my side of North Oakland, it was like, you feel me? So I done seen the motherfucker change, right? So my experiences was like, I got to see like the early gentrification and like where I'm from, it was a stupid melting pot, you know what I'm saying? Right where, 48th Street. So I got to see like, I got to see a lot of the world in a small little, shorter blocks on that Telegraph, you know what I'm saying? And we could go from there to Berkeley, from there to, all the way to the east to Bayfair and shit. So it was like, my experience was like, I seen a lot. Mind you, my family from East Oakland, so my mama from Berkeley, my daddy from DeVille. So, I got to see, I know I seen the whole shit,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So my experience with Oakland is very different because I wasn't confined to just North Oakland, you know what I'm saying? I seen the whole shit. So West Oakland, my granddad from West Oakland, went to Mac, you feel me? Class of 61.
So you got an epic family.
For
you know
sure.
what I'm saying? So having an epic family, grandfather being from the West,
Yeah.
pops being from the East,
Yeah.
mama's being from Berkeley.
Right.
I can see where a lot of the seasoning come from that, they get you so
For
player.
sure,
you know
for
what I'm
shit
saying?
show, for
That's
shit show.
them three different reputable seasonal spots, with that being said, like having a father from East Oakland, right?
Right.
And being from the village,
Right.
and inheriting a lot of great, game, because there's a lot of good game come from that area.
Right.
How did that feel being a child of a factor, being from the Ville?
Man, it was really like, I got to see everywhere we go, somebody know my dad. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, it was like that. I just got to see like, everywhere we go, every hood, my dad was good. My dad was a stand-up nigga, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, he died in 2024 from MS. But, he was a real stand-up dude, stand-up cat, smarter than motherfucker, had his master's degree type shit, so he really, niggas loved him, from the hood, from his section. So it was like I got to see the love for Pops, and it was so huge. He hooped, so he had that background. He used to hoop with GP and his Pops. So shit like that, up in Rainbow Park and shit like that. So, it was like really just like just riding through the town. It was just like, wow, my dad's a huge motherfucker, so it was like, I'm a junior too. So it's like not competing, but like, I gotta be great too.
Facts.
I gotta be something too, that period. Gotta be something. So that's what Pops did for me.
Man, so, as being a youngster, seeing what you have seen and, inherited music.
Right.
What age was it that you stepped into the music, to where you just took it as in, this is something I might do as a hobby first? I
was 12 years old. 12 years old. I'm 32 now, so that's 20 years ago, you know what I'm saying? And 20 years ago, that's when I first put the Fruity Loops on my computer. My cousin, he from 98, Icy from the 9, you know what I'm saying? But he from 98, and he came and he put Fruity Loops demo on my computer just so I could fuck around and make beats. Mind you, at the same time, we had just got computers at the school, Max. But I went to St. Leo, a little private school up in, off of Piedmont, across the street from Finn's and shit. But they came and they put the computers in the school, and we was on the Max, and the older classes, niggas, they was in there just recording out the back of that motherfucker, the fat back Max. Yeah. Turn that bitch around and just be rapping out the back of that motherfucker. So when I seen them doing that and how easy it was, I'm like, oh shit, it's that easy to make a song. So, ever since then, I've been on with, mind you, they was making hits back then too. My nigga Moses, shout out my nigga Moses, my nigga Marcus.
Young Moses.
Yeah, so they was fucking around. So, it was a back then, man. 20 years ago, a nigga started making music on a computer.
So 20 years ago, you started making beats.
Right.
On Fruity Loops.
On Fruity Loops.
So you got the beats.
Demo.
You got the demo.
Yeah, you can't
That's crazy
save it.
because I was one of them type of niggas too that had produced in my earlier days of my career, and I had started off with the demo as well. One of my god brothers, shout out UG Field, he gave me the demo.
Yeah,
showed me a couple of little ins and outs, and I took it from there.
Right, exactly.
So I know how you feel about that. You know, as you became, let's just say you started off basically just a beat maker.
Right, for sure.
And then as time progressed, so let's say you got about 15, 16, you can say you became a producer.
It was like 17, 18.
So 17, 18, that's when you officially became a producer.
Yeah, I graduated from Berkeley High at 17. Because I got one of them birthdays at Atlanta.
That's in between.
So I graduated a little bit early. And my partner was in there, and he was rapping on some like real MC shit. So, we used to go to after school to the library and just rap like until they close that motherfucker. So he was like, man, we was rapping on YouTube beats. He was like, nigga, we need some original shit. I'm like, damn. I'm like, you right. I make it, but I'm not like that. I'm just, it's a hobby for a nigga at that time. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't that confident. Nigga was like, nigga, you make beats, you need to be making beats. My nigga, Yerrick Kifla, he made music today too. But he was like, nigga, make the beats, nigga. So I made the beats, and ever since then I started working with niggas like Duckworth. Duckworth was one of the first bigger names that I started fucking with. Then I got into the All Blacks and Trifling and Lil Bear and all the niggas from, the section and shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
So what age would you say that you really stepped in? You said 17?
17, but I wasn't really like serious. It was more like we needed beats, so I'm gonna just fuck around and just start making them, But it wasn't until I see my first check around like 21, 22 years old where I was like, oh, all right, all right. We got a check from T-Mobile. T-Mobile had picked some shit up back then, and it was like they broke us off nice for the times. And I was like, ooh, shit, now I'm making beats now. I ain't stopping. I didn't look back since we got that first big check.
So with your first big check, right, what was the production that you produced then?
Back then, blood, I was trying to be so different. I was, the shit that I make now is totally left from the shit that I make now. Just because I got that Berkeley background. At Berkeley High, I was in the jazz band. So I got, my pops was heavily into East Coast hip hop. So I was into a whole bunch of just different, I was into DJ Premier, Wu-Tang, shit like that. And so I can make that kind of shit too. A lot of niggas don't know, but I was like heavily Dilla. Like that was the main influence during that time was Jay Dilla. Yeah. So a nigga made hella like just Dilla type beats and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So
you're a real producer.
For shit show. Damn. For shit show. It's not just, I love the West Coast, but it don't, I start from the root of the shit, from the East Coast and then spread out.
So as a producer, what is some of your biggest accomplishments out of it that you feel that, you feel well grounded about it?
Definitely the T-Mobile shit was huge for me. One of my first biggest checks. Other than that, working with artists like Short, working with Short and working so closely with Short, it's like, that was one of the, I grew up on Short. Like, I went to school in the third grade. Everybody got this fucking story, but I went to school just, niggas didn't know. Mind you, I had transferred from public school to private school, so I was up in school and I was just rapping hella Too Short lyrics. I was rapping freaky tales to these niggas, and they like, oh shit, this nigga could rap. Not knowing this Short shit, I ain't gonna tell the niggas, but ever since then they had me just doing all the music shit for school, and that just like kind of pushed me like into like, oh, you do the music, keep doing the music, so it was shit like that, man.
So when you say Short, right, Short is a legend in our area, so for you to be 32 years old, you know what I'm saying, doing what you're doing, you picked up a lot of seasons off from the game, as you said, so how did that connection even come about?
It'd be crazy because I'd be having to think about that shit. I used to DJ. I did hella shit. I DJ, I produce, I engineer, I rap and do all the shit. I even do the cover art if I need to. But I was DJing at the time, DJ Slowpoke, his DJ. Like, we was around that nigga. I had a group. We was in a group called Wave Rose, Me, Ju, Banga, Mellis Wave, and DJ Shrugs. We was on a little DJ collective. And niggas didn't know I rap. And my first song I ever dropped, 10K, had got out. And then it had got to him. And then he had got it to Short. And then Short was like, oh, you crazy. And then he was like, oh, you make beats too? Oh, it's over. So he took me on, and we locked in. Me and Short locked in. We got some shit on the way.
Damn.
We got some shit on the way.
Damn. How does that feel to be able to work with a pioneer that been doing this since the early 80s?
Nigga, you know how it feel for a town baby, you know, it's like, damn, nigga, it's like, it's everything to me. Like I said, I grew up rapping the nigga shit, so that shit mean everything to me to just work with Short and just, it's one of my biggest inspirations, so I'm saying it's like a nigga, it's like when you accomplish a dream for real, it ain't perfect right now, but a nigga accomplishing shit and that feels good.
So when you say 10K, actually being one of your first records from getting exposure from, like, how was you feel and what type of mode you was in when you created that?
Look, nigga, we was off, nigga. I'm a young nigga. We pretty. I'm not that young, but I'm younger. And back in the day, nigga, we was off that Irk and Jerk. So we was off that Irk and Jerk brandy. You know what I'm saying? We just go in there with a gallon and just do hella shit. Me and Drew Banger would just knock out hella shit. And when we made that shit, blood, I didn't even know it was that, but one of the homies that came in and said, nigga, that's your single right there. Drop that motherfucker. I didn't know what to do. Mind you, we just in there making hella just songs. Nigga, when I work, we work. You feel me? So we could lock in for like a week or 2 weeks and make like 20 songs. You know what I'm saying? So we made hella little songs in that set, in that little section of time, but we made that 10K and the nigga said, hey, that's your single. I said, you probably right. You probably right.
You know what's so crazy? So me and one of my cousins was having to talk about you about last week before last. So at first, he didn't understand the Bosslife player. So he didn't understand it. I'm like, bruh, like, that's the shit. So he was like, bruh, that's cool, you feel me? He was like, so I kept talking, man, Spence is the nigga, he the nigga. Yeah. So he went to go do his homework. Yeah. Nigga come back, he like, bro, this 10K, bro.
That's the one.
Like, this 10K, bro, go crazy. Right. I'm like, nigga, I told you, nigga. I'm like, nigga, I told you, nigga. He like, I ain't gonna lie, cuz.
My mama.
I ain't gonna lie,
cuz. My mama.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy that 10K was one of your biggest records.
Biggest records, first record ever that I ever dropped as a rapper.
For
my
real?
First record ever that I ever dropped as a rapper. First record ever. I never dropped no rap song before that. Ever. In life.
Wow.
So my first one went up. My first one just went the fuck up. You know, we got Too Short on a remix, G-Eazy on a remix, G Perico, and that's all we put out. Mind you, we got hella remixes, but that's all we put out.
So, damn, so when you got multi-remixes?
For shit show.
With different people on every, like,
for shit show.
Every version got just one person?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
God damn.
For sure. So
have you thought about shooting like a mega video with all these players together?
Blood, now we got the new song, and so like but like now we got the new shit, and we doing the same. It's the same shit, and it's a hella shit. So we just like the possibilities is endless. And now I'm for shit show gonna do it. Back then, it was different. It was pre-pandemic, right before the year before the pandemic. So the world was wide open, and I was just like, I don't know what to do with this. Mind you, it's my first song, so I didn't know how to market or. We learn as we go. We real town niggas. I don't really like to ask niggas for help. You know what I'm saying? Do this shit on our own. So, but now I get it. Now I get the game. So yeah, we on this. We doing some shit now.
Facts. I've been seeing it. Y'all just had a great Super Bowl experience that just came out here, man.
Shit.
I don't think it was one venue or one place that I didn't see y'all at.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
We couldn't be everywhere, but everywhere we needed to be, we was there. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, how does it feel to be having that light of exposure in the right places at the right time during one of the mega events that a motherfucker can ever experience?
A nigga can only give it up to God, bro. I can only give it up to God in divine timing, bro. I literally feel like it's my time, and I'm getting signs, in life that it's my time. So I can't say it's me. I can't say it's, what. I can't tell you what we really doing, except God is involved.
Facts. I love that. I love that spiritual connection.
For shit show.
For sure. For sure. I'm over here twisted all up.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Let me get my shit right there. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my shit right.
Come on now.
Being an entrepreneur in this game, you know what I'm saying? It ain't easy. And a lot of times we make things look easy because we know how to present ourselves amongst peers. You know, like, how do you be coming up with this motherfucking wardrobes and shit that you be doing amongst these peers when you be on these motherfucking stages showing your motherfucking ass?
But that's just all, you know, that's just all experience. You feel me? My folks, you feel me? I hear my ancestors talking to me like, nigga, you better step when you step, nigga. You know, I just, like, I look at my shit. Might have to go shopping and do some more shit, but, like, you know, I know how I want to come. You know, it's player shit all the way. I done seen players come before me do this shit before, it's, you know, it's just, I'm just trying to, you know, keep up with my folks and, you know, do it better at the same time. You know, make sure I'm representing and make sure we doing something innovative at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all just, you know, I'm an artist with all of that shit. I'm an artist with life. So the way I dress, the way we rap, the way we talk, the way we walk, the way we boss. You know?
Fuck. So
tell business, man.
How did the connection with you and Bari even come about?
All right, boom. So Bari, you know, I could go back. I keep telling this story, but I had never been to no concerts. My dad was one of them niggas like, nigga, you not finna be no fucking groupie. So we not no groupies. You don't come from groupies. You not finna be no groupie. So it wasn't like I couldn't go to no concerts, but it was like, nigga, you finna go to it. Like, you finna be a cheerleader. Like, he didn't even tell me this. It's just in my own mind, just the way my dad raised me. Like, so it was just like, nigga, I ain't finna be no groupie. I didn't go to my first concert until I was at Berkeley High. It was like the 10th grade. And Young Bari had came and did the homecoming. So mind you, Young Bari is one of the first performers I ever seen in my life.
Damn, that's
in my
crazy.
life. And when he did that and he turned it up, I said, ooh wee. How the bitches was, how all, you know, all my niggas was, how he was fired up. I said, oh, I gotta rap. You know, I'm like, ooh, I gotta rap. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen the nigga perform, I was instantly, mind you, during that time, Young Bari's out of here. He on BT doing hella little fly shit, you feel me, before anybody was doing it. So he came, he did that. Ever since then, I was a fan. Years later, I dropped 10K. I ended up meeting the nigga, and then we just built a connection. Called the nigga one time. Me and Payshawn was at the studio. I said, come through to the studio. He came to the studio. We played him hella records. He heard that's a player. He stopped me. He said, wait, let me get on this and turn you up. He said, and I said, nigga, I had never did that. I had never gave nobody a song before. And I was like, you know, I'm like, but at the same time, it was all the way good. Somebody I look up to, fully trust. Here, nigga, he got on the song, held it. We did that shit back in 2021.
Yeah.
It's been done since 2021. And then he was holding on to it. And me and Sean was like, nigga, drop. But he was like, you know, he was doing a bunch of other shit at the time. And that's why I say it's up to God, because, you know, like, we wanted it to come out at hella different times, but it came out at the right time, you know? Yeah. So he picked it up. He came. He was like, let me turn you up. That's what big bro. I look up to him, you know, gave him, you know, we collaborated. He did his thing. He did exactly what he said he was going to do, which was turn me up. He turned me the fuck up.
Nice. Good shit. Good camaraderie. So when you say Payshawn, I know Payshawn is a producer himself, so he produced the record, right?
He produced the record.
So where do his relationship come in?
So look, so Trifling, my nigga Trifling, I made Shindig for Trifling and hella other little shit for Trifling. Free Trife, my nigga. I talked to him this morning.
Free Trife,
man. He be out soon, you know what I'm saying? North Oakland shit, BRP, Bushrod Park shit. But my nigga was working with him, and they had a song called 7s and 16s. And when that shit dropped, I kid you not, we on that shit all summer, back to back. That's all we playing is that song. And then I finally get to meet the nigga. I'm like, that's you? And he like, yeah. I'm like, ooh, we gotta get in there, blood. Mind you, I'm a producer too. So, you know, I ain't a fan of too many other niggas that produce. But when I met that nigga, I'm like, bro, I was an instant fan. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, come on, nigga. And we locked in out in Union City. Did hella little shit. We did this song, That's a Player, and like 2 albums in a week and a half. And it was up. It's been up since. So shout out my nigga Payshawn. He also did the content. He did the video. You know, we put our brains together on the marketing. Shout out my mama too. It's me, my mama, Sean, and
Shout
Bar.
out to mom. Shout
You know
out
what I'm
to
saying?
mom.
Bosslife matriarch, man. You know what it is, man. Shout out mama, man. But yeah, man. So that's all it was, man. It's all natural. It's all meant to be. That's why I say it's all on God's timing, because I can't tell you really how or why, but God.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's epic. How did it feel, you know, waking up one day and just hearing that, oh, I got a billboard about this.
Nigga. Hey, bruh. So you know we do it for you. We do it for shit like that.
Right.
We do it for moments like that. And when you get a moment like that, bro, it's just so magical. It feel like, even if nothing changed, it feel like your life changed.
Right.
Just because you do it for that. You do it to ride down the streets and the freeways you used to go to, just hustling. And, you know, you just like, you know, you look up and you be like, I'm going to be on that one day. Because literally, on the billboard, a nigga said that. I seen some other niggas on the billboard. I said, one day, you know, it wasn't no hate in my heart. I said, one day, I'm going to be on that motherfucker too. I'm going to be on that motherfucker too. And my nigga put me on that motherfucker, man. My nigga, shout out Mr. Carter Block, man. Wake your ass up, podcast.
Wake your motherfucking ass up, man.
You know how we do it, man.
Come on,
so, man, you make a lot of dreams. You made my dream come true. You know, and I'm sure it's a lot of other niggas' dreams. You know, we just be doing this shit. You know, we don't know when it's going to come. But when it come, man, I was just so thankful. And it was just another sign from God that I'm doing the right shit.
Thanks. I mean, when I seen the great job that y'all was doing, I just feel like as an elder, that's what we supposed to do, is help the younger generation without no ill intent, without no intent at all. Like, you feel me? Respect the narrative that niggas is doing something great and making our city look great. You feel me?
Right.
And I just love that record, man, from day one. You know what I'm saying? From the first time that I heard the shit. Like, I've been knowing Bari since Bari was actually about 12 years old.
Ooh,
you know
before the shit.
He used to come to my brother and my cousin barbershop in Hilltop.
Okay.
You know, Top Notch Barbershop.
Okay.
Up in Hilltop Mall. And I used to help pass out his flyers and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And getting him up out there and shit. And then my brother actually was doing music at the time and shit. So his relationship with Sue and Ron Reyes and Slowpoke and all them. He went to school with all of them. And Pilo's sister was actually his best friend.
Right.
So I kind of knew that demographic of people
already.
You know what I'm saying? Already. So when I go to Richmond and shit, me being a town baby, I'll take the flyers, bring it out here, do little shit like that. So, you know, my love and respect, man, for Bari has, you know, been going a long way since he was, you know, a youngin'. You know, and just to see y'all camaraderie, it's just dope. And then it's crazy. So I did my homework. I'm talking to one of my cousins. He talking about you. Find out we got some connections on some Fair Value shit. So you just don't be knowing how small
this motherfucker small as a dot.
Be. You know what I'm saying? With the connection with Payshine, start making the beats. Y'all link up together. You feel me? Y'all come up with the concept of Like a Player.
Yeah, for sure.
So with the Like a Player concept, was it in your mind a for sure banger at the time, or you was like, I don't know?
Look, nigga, we made so many songs. I thought all of them was going. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't that it was a for sure thing. It was a couple songs in that we made then that I'm like, you know, this is the one, and it wasn't this one. So, you know, it'd be like that. You know what I'm saying? It's never up to me, it's up to the people.
Facts.
You know?
Facts. And it's crazy, right? So one day I'm just looking, I see that y'all going to New York.
Yeah.
I'm like, the fuck is that all about? So then I'm just peeping, I'm seeing y'all going to places like Biggie, old spot, you know what I'm saying? Just taking monumental pictures and shit. Like, as being a representation from here and actually going to be in Brooklyn and, you know, seeing those type of staples, but going there on some musical journey.
Right.
How did that feel?
Bro, that felt crazy, blood. It felt like, you know, I was stepping for all of us, you know what I'm saying, and representing all of us, you know what I'm saying, which it was just what I always wanted, which is what I do, you know, so it wasn't like nothing crazy, but at the same time, it's like it's actually happening, you know, so it's like a surreal moment, taking this shit, and not only that, we going out, we having the DJs play it, and just to see everybody in New York, because they say a lot of shit about New York and how they don't fuck with us and our sound and shit. We out there, they fucking with our sound, man. I don't believe that shit no more. You can't tell me that the East Coast don't fuck with the Bay. They do. And the way we dress, the way we talk, the way we walk, all the shit. You know what I'm saying? So when I was out there, it was nothing but love from New York to this day. You know, I'm gonna go back to that motherfucker how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I might even just set up throw a flag in the ground in New York for us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The way they fuck with it. It's too easy. It's too easy right now. That's what everybody needs to know is that the world is big. It's bigger than this place, and you really got to get out to get a taste. You know what I'm saying? It's like we'll be in this little box and we think we got it all here, but you got to go outside to like really get it. See how this shit is received. Even me as a person.
Right.
I'm a whole different kind of nigga, so let me just see how me as a person is received in these other spots. And it was all love. It was all lovely, you know what I'm saying? All the shit we talk, all the way we move, they love that shit, bro. Like, I don't want nobody to believe that the East Coast don't fuck with the West Coast or the West Coast don't fuck with the East Coast. We fucks with it. Of course, you got your little, twos and fews, but fuck them motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? We mashing, and we match with who we got, and we got motherfuckers everywhere. Like now I'm living in Atlanta right now, so this motherfuckers in Atlanta fucking with the Bay hella tough. Me, they fuck with your nigga.
We're going to get to that too.
Yeah.
So, with you being in New York and you going to go do the On the Radar, right?
Right.
How did that connection even come apart? Because you don't really see too many people from the Bay being on the radar. You feel me?
Right.
That's kind of like you got to be put in the paint where it ain't and stepping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you stepping like guys that need to be stepped,
right,
you'll get that introduction. So for you to get that introduction with Bari,
right,
and represent here, and it was real players though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It didn't really look too uncharacteristic.
Come on,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? And it looked good. Like, what was that like, bro?
Bro, that was crazy. That was crazy. And how I came about, like they always say, it ain't what you know, it's who you know. Nigga, so Pay-Shine was connected with somebody who was connected with the group of this shit. And it was like, can we boo bop? And then they was like, yep, come on. And they gave us a date and we said we there. And we came. What would they say? We came, we fought, we conquered. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of them. And it was all lovely. Like, even and that nigga, it was one nigga in the room, right? It was one nigga who did all the shit for us that day. And he was fucking with it. And when he was fucking with it, I was like, okay, yeah, they fucking with it out here. I'm like, okay, they really fuck with us out here. It gave me all the confirmation I needed to know to come back and spread the word to everybody else that they fucking with us. We think like, oh, they ain't gonna fuck with no Bay shit. They might not, everybody do this shit, but like, it's certain, people in when it's your time, it's your time, and New York ain't gonna deny that. LA ain't gonna deny that. Atlanta ain't gonna deny when it's your time. So I love New York, and it was just a surreal moment, blood. You know what I'm saying? Representing this shit all the way on the other side.
Facts.
That's what we do it for. To be received at that. It's just like a mind fuck. After all we've been taught, being from the West Coast, like, oh, fuck the East Coast, fuck the West. No, it ain't really like that right now. You know what I'm saying? It might have been like that. That's before my time. You know what I'm saying? So, but right now, nigga, they loving it. They loving it, man.
So I got two last questions for you. How was your Atlanta experience before you moved out there and now that you live out there?
Well, I had family. My family moved to Atlanta back in like 2016, 2017. My mom's pops and sister. And so I had a little taste. I was able to go out there and kind of put a little bit of paint where it ain't. And so I was already kind of like established amongst the people a little bit. Because I came out there with that Kelly shit. So they was like, oh, I had them sprung off of that first. I met a lot of people just moving, what I had to move. So they was like, they knew me from that. And then as niggas see me grow, follow me on Instagram, like, oh, nigga, you do that? So it was more like, it wasn't like a shock. It was more like niggas I already knew, folks with what we got going on. And it wasn't too difficult. You know what I'm saying? I had already planted a flag in Atlanta. Just cause I was out there and had to be for family time, Thanksgiving and shit. So, and it's Atlanta, they got it going on musically and shit. So, it was easy. It was nothing to me, you know, just go out there and just politic with them niggas and see what we could do. You know what I'm saying? And niggas in Atlanta received it just like niggas in New York. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing crazy. It wasn't nothing crazy.
If you could tell your younger self right now what would it be?
Well, it would be don't give up, but I never stopped. So, shit, nigga, you finna do it. You know, I wouldn't want to. I would probably just warn myself of a couple of little, you know, little shit you gotta balance in the game. But it's nothing. You know, we did it. We doing it. You doing it, little nigga. You know what I'm saying? You doing it. Right. That's what I tell my little self. Cause I used to think about this shit. I used to, you know, even draw how I look today on paper. You know, before I even made the music, before the shit was on my computer, a nigga had the vision of like just being bigger. You know what I'm saying? Just being older, fly nigga. You know, seeing my pops. You know, pops was a clean nigga, beaming right nigga. So you know what I'm saying? Just doing that in my own way. You know, in my own way, my own fashion.
Facts. Last thing, what's next?
Next, blood, we trying to shoot across the sky like a motherfucking star. You know what I'm saying? That's my vision. It's just shooting across this motherfucker till we pop. You know what I'm saying? And just doing it up till we can't do it no more. You know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of shit. I don't like to even speak on shit that ain't solidified or ain't, you know, currently out, you know, because you never know what'll happen. Right. I leave it all up to God. Like we didn't see. We got a lot of shit that's supposed to, you know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So I just got an open mind, and I'm gonna just keep working, keep hustling, and just not stop. Like I would tell my younger self, just don't stop. There's been a lot of shit in the game that a nigga could have just stopped and been like, fuck yeah, fuck rap, fuck music, for producing, all this shit. But a nigga just kept going. A nigga done came up with a lot of motherfuckers that ain't doing it no more. You know what I'm saying? So I done seen all stages of the game. So what we got coming up next is just some more of it. What I'll tell my younger self is get some more of it. You know, shit like that. Shit like that.
Well, you know, I just want to commend you, bro. I brought you here to give you your roses, your flowers, your gold bars today while you can smell them, while you can taste them, while you can hold them in your hand, while you're alive. You know what I'm saying? Nigga. Show our appreciation, our value to each other. Sometimes we don't want to do these things until people are dead or incarcerated. You feel me? I think that we need to start showing more homage and respect to those that show respect to you while we are alive. You know what I'm saying?
That part.
So, you know, I'm proud of you, bro. Man. Keep pushing. Man. Keep being a great man. Man. You know what I'm saying? Keep making the right positive results out of the results that you're making. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Keep putting God first. For sure. And all these blessings and abundance going to keep coming your way. Amen. You know what I'm saying? Amen. You got a lot of great things that you're doing for you and yours and your family and the people around you. Amen. As I can say as a black man, bro, you're doing a wonderful job, a hell of a job, bro. Keep doing it, bro.
Thank you, big bro.
I'm proud of you, bro.
Man, big bro. Thank you. And real quick, before we cut this motherfucker, I got to give you your flowers right back to you and appreciation right back to you, because the shit you do, you know, you doing it, you like an angel right now, you know. You might not, you know, you blessing people, but you might not know how you blessing people, you know what I'm saying? So just the blessings that you giving to everybody, I can say on behalf of everybody that at least came from where I came from and started where I started, because you fucking with a lot of my niggas, you know, we ain't never could even fathom no shit like what you doing for us right now. So you really like a motherfucking saint in this shit right now. And really giving niggas a lot of motivation to keep going, because without doing what you doing, niggas is feeling like, maybe we doing this for nothing.
Ain't no hope.
It's no hope. Maybe we doing it all for nothing.
Fair.
So you giving niggas hope, you know, confidence. God is working through you, I believe. I believe God is working through you right now, and just keep doing what you're doing. And I love and appreciate you, big bro. Real shit, Mr. Carter. Wake your motherfucking ass up.
Wake your motherfucking ass up. Any shout outs or any last thing you want to give to the people?
Shout out all my folks, man. Shout out my mama, shout out my daddy, man. And shout out everybody that came before me, man. And you know, the ancestors, man. We gonna keep doing this shit, man. You know what it is. It's Bosslife Spence, man. Shout out to the motherfucking Payshawn, Young Bari, Drew Banger, everybody that had a motherfucking helping hand in what the fuck I got going on right now, man. Shout out to y'all, man. That's ball. This is nothing without y'all, baby. Come on. You know what I'm saying? So just shout out to my folks, man.
Come on, man. We out, man. Shout out to the sponsors, too. I almost forgot, too. Evelyn Jones, man. Cookies, man. Beef Fiends, man. We out, man. It's the Carter. Wake your motherfucking ass up.
You bitch, you. Yeah.
Oh man.